I'm gonna talk about something very important in this video. Not many people talk about this topic because it's uncomfortable, but here I bring you 10 reasons why your Korean is not improving. I love you so much, so occasionally I have to drop some love bombs, truth bombs, so we have a wake up call and feel more motivated than ever before. So I hope this video brings you clarity and guidance and a little wake up call too. So should we dive in? Let's get started. Here we go. Reason number one, you don't actually know enough vocabulary. I said this multiple times in so many videos, but we need to study and expand our vocab bank in our brain. How many words are you really studying a day? Are we doing consistent 5 words a day? I told you we don't need like 1,000 words a day, but consistent vocab expansion is a must if you want to master this language one day. Any language, right? We need to know the words. If you don't do this step, you're going to always ask this question. How do I say this in Korean? How do I say this in Korean? How do I say this in Korean? But if you know the words, you're like, wait, how do I put this together? I know how to say cup, mom, drink. Like, you just put it together. So please do not skip this part. It's a must if you are a serious learner who wants to master Korean one day. All right, so vocab expansion, what I recommend for busy people 5 words a day. Consistently try for 1 year. We got this. And if you're looking for a fun resource, you guys know that I have a vocab pack with pictures and audio, my voice for each page. I'm just going to show you for those of you who are new, brand new to my channel, but many students, tens and thousands of you already have this book. If you're new here, you check out my vocab pack that has 1,300 essential Korean words you must know if you're starting this journey. We have some verbs, we have some nouns here. It's a whole ultimate vocab power pack. All right, so I'll have the link in the description. And also, here is my website. If you want to browse more resources, books, and courses, I have it all available on my website. Okay, so that is the first reason. Okay, but if you're doing that, let's go to number two. You don't know the basics deeply enough. All right, so here we go. How many of you know how to read Korean? Like read. You know how to pronounce. Like if I show you a sentence in Korean here, like let's say I wrote something and show you, do you know how to pronounce it accurately? If you said no, your foundation is shaky. You have you have the basics, but it's not deep enough to carry you forward. So I just wanted to expose that fact. Everything will build upon that skill. Hangul, learning how to read Korean, pronounce Korean. And if you don't have that just because you said, oh, skip the reading part, I just want to speak Korean, I want to learn patterns, later down the line, your studying will be so shaky because your house will break apart. So please let this video be a reminder to go back to the foundation. I have a reading course available, reading book available, or a free video available on our YouTube channel about how to read Korean, how to pronounce the letters of Korean, because from there, you know the vowels, the consonants, and you can build upon that skill to speak Korean, to make sentences in Korean, because that is the basics and we cannot skip that. Okay? But you're like, I know the alphabet, I have the vocab, I'm doing the studying. What about next one? Number three, you're studying too passively and too silently. Reading notes is not the same as speaking Korean. Saving Instagram posts that people upload to learn Korean is not the same as practicing Korean. And taking notes and reading notes and you watching this YouTube video And watching K drama is not the same as using Korean out loud. So there is a difference between you passively studying and doing some input and you actively studying and you're doing output practice, right? So I just wanted you to know that we have to be an active learner and be an active speaker in order for you to speak fluently in Korean one day, right? Just think about it. Passive learning, passive result. Active learning, active results. And I want you to succeed in this journey by taking the right approach. Okay, so please produce more sound, and I'm going to talk more about this active learning soon in this video. All right, so number 4, you avoid speaking because you're too scared to sound wrong. Come on, when you're beginning this journey, no one's gonna sound right. No way. But I want you to really challenge yourself to speak broken Korean. Speak wrong stuff. It's okay to speak it because that's the only way to improve it. If you're just gonna be scared, I don't feel ready to speak Korean. Wait. I need to get down to 20 more words and then I can speak Korean. If I speak Korean, no one's gonna understand me. So what? It's okay if no one understands you. That's how babies learn. That's the beginner's mind. That's how everything is done in the beginning, right? We get embarrassed. We feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough. And then you do it so much, it becomes automatic. You did it so much, so many embarrassing moments that later you become the pro and you're teaching the beginners. So crazy. When I was a first year teacher, this is my 10th year teaching. First year teacher, it was so embarrassing to go to work because my skills of teaching was not there. And I was so scared to show up to the classroom, to the students and in school. But I didn't just stay in my bed and like said, "Oh, it's too embarrassing. I'm not going to teach." But I just like rolled up the sleeves and I went to school every day with my embarrassing um and like very, how do I say this in English? I'm thinking in Korean. Like 쪽팔리는 마음. It was too embarrassing to even go to school, but with that heart I still showed up. I'm here. Teaching didn't get easier, but I got better over time after 10 years, and I'm training other teachers now. So just like that, I don't want you to avoid speaking just because your pronunciation and you feel like no one understands you. I just want you to speak to yourself, to the mirror, to someone at a restaurant. Try it. And the more embarrassed you are, the better results you're going to expect. Trust me on that. Number 5, you avoid the uncomfortable part. And the growth happens only in this like uncomfortable zone. Isn't that so sometimes fair? Right? Because you have to put in the reps and work. And maybe for you, learning and expanding vocab is uncomfortable. Like doing it daily, it's like doing your dumbbell lifting every day. And I feel so uncomfortable doing that. I don't like working out at all. I feel so forced to go to the gym every day, but it's worth it. I get to show up as a stronger woman, stronger teacher. So I want you to not avoid that uncomfortable part. The work that says, I don't want to do it. But I want you to still own that part of learning and do it. Okay, so it could be speaking for some people. It could be sitting down for 20 minutes a day to learn new words. It could be maybe doing shadowing practice. Whatever makes you uncomfortable, just know that that's going to be the part that's going to give you the most and biggest results. Okay? And number 6, you don't review enough. Can I show you a quote, a statistic that I really like? I just screenshotted this to show you. Here it is. This is a fact. According to studies, we tend to forget up to 50% of new information within the first hour. So after 1 hour, you forget half. And then we forget up to 70% of new information within 24 hours. So tomorrow, 70% gone. Isn't that so sad? If we don't review or reinforce it. That's how forgetful we are as humans. That's how brains are wired. So we must review and reinforce information for us to not forget over and over and over again. So it doesn't feel like restarting every time you open a book. So make sure you review the ones that you studied in the past. Like this is a great reminder to open your notebook and then flip back some pages and then see what you learned a week ago or even yesterday because here, look at this. We forget half. We forget 70% of what we learned just recently. Okay? So take this stats seriously and review your notes. Number 7, maybe you don't have a daily routine because if you don't have a consistent exposure to this language, you'll forget it. You know, there's a saying, if you don't use it, you forget it. That's how it's going to be like for language. You study for 2 days or 3 days, and then you disappear for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, you restart again. That's a waste of 3 days of studying because you just didn't have that daily routine and your brain just forgot everything. And I don't want that to happen to you. So maybe this is a great time to open a calendar and see when you're available to sit down for maybe 10 to 15 to 20 minutes a day where you want to dedicate maybe 9 p.m. to 9:20 is Korean studying time for you. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Because consistent daily routine is so much better than intense study sessions. Trust me on this. It works. I have studied 3 languages and it works. Number 8. Ooh, truth bomb. It hurts. This is painful. You think I studied for 1 year means I practiced for 1 year. You've been on and off, and that's been 1 year or 2 years of you studying Korean. But then, what's the actual active studying looks like in that 1 year? Was it like a 1 month and then you rested for 3 weeks and then you came back after like a 2 months? So we cannot call that studying for 1 year if it wasn't consistent studying session for 1 year. So I just want you to really think about, hey, how much did I actively study to pursue the goal of being fluent in Korean one day? Or watching K-dramas without subtitles, whatever your goal may be, right? So I want you to just think about this for a second because it's a painful sentence, but true. Number 9, you don't have a clear system. When I hear the system right now, I'm thinking maybe like parenting, good parents, and like people who do it so easy when they're having like 4 children at home. They're doing something right with the system. Like everybody knows what they're doing. Everybody knows what they're doing at the exact hour for everything. Throwing away trash or waking up, going to bed, meals. Everything has a system and it looks so easy when there is a system. So I want to ask you too, when it comes to learning Korean, do you have a system? Is there a structure or is it just random pieces here and there? Like you're learning particles today, and then tomorrow it's going to be analyzing BTS lyrics. And then next week, we're just doing a couple of patterns. Is it just like random pieces or do you have a structure? Okay. So I just want you to pause and think about that. And one of the best way to have a system is to really follow the efficient order of learning Korean. And many people have a hard time figuring this out. So that's why people ask and email me, hey, Aina, I learned Hangul. What's next? Hey, Aina, I learned how to form sentences in present, past, and future. What's next? So if you go to my website, I did have a little roadmap that I wrote down on my homepage. Like, if you know this, go to this. If you know this, go to this. And so many people benefit from taking courses because my courses are very structured and they know exactly what to study next, right? So that could be a great help if you want a clear system. Okay. And lastly, you don't have enough sentence patterns. Studying vocab is not enough if you want to make sentences, own sentences, not just like phrases that you memorized from K dramas, like 안녕하세요, 밥 먹었어? But forming your own sentences to express your heart, express your thoughts in Korean. To do that, you need your vocab, of course, because you're not gonna always wonder, hey, how do I say this in Korean? So you got the vocab part, let's say, then that's not enough because now you need the patterns. For example, in English, we have patterns like I want to, verb, I want to go, I want to clean, I want to teach, I want to film. So you just plug in different verbs to make sentences, and that's a pattern. Or don't, verb, don't do it, dance, don't eat that, don't blah blah blah. And with that pattern, you can play and plug in different verbs and nouns to make your sentences, right? And here, so a lot of students already are in this program, the Game Changer. If you haven't heard of it, it's a pattern course that I have on my website, or I'll put it in the description too. So, this is very, very important. You cannot underestimate the power of learning patterns if you want to make sentences and start expressing yourself. Okay, so if you need guidance and resources, just know that we have a pattern flashcard course so you guys can just see it. For example, like green is for verb. I don't want to verb. And then you'll see a Korean and you plug in your verbs and make thousands, millions of sentences if you start learning and seeing Korean in patterns. All right. So that is it for all 10 reasons. It was kind of painful for me to point out everything. But I know as a teacher, my job is to tell you the truth many times and give you guidance. If something is not working out, I have to tell you, hey, it's not working out. We have to go to probably shift to a different direction. So this video was all about that. Okay. So I am just going to go scroll all the way up. And that is it for 10 reasons why your Korean is not improving. Do not be disheartened because that's not the goal of it. I want you to just have a quick wake up call and let's go to the right direction so we can have a system, we can have a routine, so we know where we need to fill ourselves. Okay, so we can make progress and improve Korean like this. Alrighty, that is it for me. I love you. If you want to continue learn Korean here on YouTube, you can check out this next, and I'll see you in the next video. 안녕.